All right, welcome back, everybody. NFL Week 14 upon us. And hopefully you had a good week last week. I know a lot of people made a lot of money last weekend. Pretty good week. Should have been even better. My bad on the Lions-Minnesota game. Again, Minnesota equals 110 in the most simple cipher. Lions got to 1 and 10 in the win and loss column. That was the omission of the week. And, had we had that one, would have been an epic week. But still, a very good week. And again, you made smart parlays, you made big bucks. Big Al hit it home again this week. He built a lot of parlays around the Cardinals and Chiefs game, had a few in there, including the Steelers upsetting the Ravens like we talked about at the top of the stream, and the Seahawks beating the Niners, Chargers beating the Bengals, those kind of games. And with that said, NFL Week 14, Steelers at Vikings begins the week on the 9th. Super Bowl 9 was the Steelers and the Vikings. The Steelers won that Super Bowl 16-6. And it seems that might be what this game is about. Super Bowl 9, where the Steelers beat the Vikings. That game was in 1975. Minnesota Vikings equals 75. If the Steelers win tonight, they will be 7-5 in the win and loss column. Pittsburgh equals 58. If the Vikings lose, they will be 5-8 versus Pittsburgh. And the other thing is if the Steelers do win tonight, they would get their 35th all-time win in Week 14. They're currently 34-26 in Week 14. If they win tonight, they'll be 35-26. The Vikings actually come in with a record in Week 14 of 35-24. They could stay on those 35 wins. So I think it looks a bit better for the Steelers. And they are a slight dog, so they got the value. The over-under's at 43.5. That's tricky because Vikings equals 44, but it is Week 14. 43 is the 14th prime number, so that over-under is tricky. The only thing I could say for the Vikings, again, they don't have the 35 in their favor, and that's the number on Thursday you want. The only thing I could say for the Vikings is if they won, they would become 6-2 at home versus the Steelers. Today does have 62 date numerology, and Minneapolis does equal 62. But if you flip that around, if the Steelers were to win, they would become 3-5 at Minnesota on Thursday Night Football. 3-5, a bit like 35, but again, they can get that 35th win in Week 14. And you know what? I actually see one more thing that could go in Ben's favor that I didn't note. I'm going to fix that right now. Ben, if he wins tonight, will get his 163rd regular season win. 163 is the 38th prime, and Minnesota is 38 in the most pure. 110 with the most simple, which was the riddle last week. I think the reason I didn't see the 110 is because the Lions were 0-10-1. Just that tie column was throwing me off. But yeah, I should have seen that. And if Ben does win, he would stay on 52 all-time away losses. We know Minnesota's also 52, like they hosted Super Bowl 52. The one other thing that could go in the Vikings' favor is Cousins could get his 58th all-time win and stay on 58 regular season losses versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's 58. But again, on Thursday when the 35's out there, got to go that direction. And that is in the Steelers' favor. And again, what are the odds they're playing on the 9th? And again, Super Bowl 9 was in 75, and the Steelers can get to 7-5. Those are the bigger connections to me. If you want to go over the notes, I do have in all the data for the coaches, quarterbacks, head-to-head. It's all in here. It just needs that final layer of analysis. But you got the Ravens at the Browns this week, early game. Of course, the Browns became the Ravens back once upon a time. You got the Jaguars at the Titans. Big spread there. Raiders at Chiefs. Notice if the Raiders lose, they're 6-7. That Kansas City number. Kansas City 67. Last week on Sunday Night Football, they put up the stat that Kansas City has 67% odds to win the division. A player for the Saints just died this week at age 31. If the Saints did win, they would also be 6-7, like 67, the 19th prime, Saints 19. The Washington and Cowboys game's interesting. Football team is 67. If they did lose, they would be 6-7. But again, these games need a little bit more analysis, but all the information's here if you want to start thinking about it. And Cam Newton's in this week for the Panthers. I did notice if he wins, he will get his 48th home win, Atlanta 48. And keep in mind, Panthers is 43, the 14th prime. If the Falcons lost, they'd be 4-3 away in week 14. Panthers could improve to 3-4 at home. Atlanta Falcons 139, the 34th prime. Seahawks are getting a lot of love on the road. 7.5 point favorite over the Texans, despite being 4-8. If they do win, they're 3-4 away. Texans is 34. Wilson can get that 46th away loss in the regular, or not loss, win. 46th away win in the regular season. Houston, Texas, 46. And let's see, Lions and Broncos game. You never know. Lions finally won a game. Maybe they're going to get hot. So I notice if the Broncos lose, they would be 8-6 versus the Lions, and it's Goff's 86th game and Broncos is 86. This makes me wonder. They got some serious value. Yeah, Giants and Chargers. And remember, this 49ers-Bengals game, we got what we wanted last week. We wanted to see the 49ers lose to the Seahawks and the Chargers beat the Bengals to set up this scenario where the 49ers can win and get to 7-6, and the Bengals can lose and get to 7-6 because San Francisco's 76. Again, it's the Niners' 76th season. Joe Montana Super Bowl. Joe Burrow drafted right after by the Bengals, who Joe Montana beat twice. So Niners are actually a 1 point favorite on the road, which I think is an interesting spread. I was thinking that the Bengals were going to be the 1 or 2 or 3 point favorite, but they gave the edge to the Niners, and that's probably a betting trap for most people who are thinking, wait a minute, I got to take the Bengals at home. But yeah, if the Niners win that game, which technically isn't an upset, both teams will be 7-6. And remember, Sunday Night Football, I'll be surprised if the Packers don't win this one. I mean, they're a huge favorite. God, 12.5 point favorite. But if they win, home teams are 7-7 on Sunday Night Football. Green Bay 77, that number that hits a lot. The over-under's at 43.5. 43, the 14th prime, week 14. Green Bay a 12.5 point favorite. Green Bay 41, the 13th prime. There's two reasons to think that Green Bay can cover that spread. Because, yeah, you're going to need to take them to cover the spread. It's kind of like last week where we thought Brady would cover the spread and beat Atlanta, and he did. They're like an 11 point favorite. Week 13. I think they won by 13. But, yeah, all the data is here for these games. Just need to do some better analysis. So, just got it out here, though, in case you want to think about parlaying tonight's game with some other games this week. Again, I don't think Big Al made a bet that was more than $25. He had probably 8 bets he put out there, but he made about $2,000 this past weekend. And again, no bets bigger than $25. So, and he would have made a lot more if he took the parlays that fell apart were because of the Lions-Minnesota game, and I feel bad about that. But, I mean, he probably would have cleared $5,000 had we had Minnesota, and we should have. That's what makes me mad. But because, again, I would have been more on the Lions beating Minnesota had I noticed that. Minnesota equals 110 on the left. Remember, that's what we did. Left always beats right. The ciphers on the left are the ones you take over the right. Minnesota's 110. I forgot about that, though, and we were locked into the Lions 66 thing, which did make sense in week 13, but forgot about the Minnesota 110. So ciphers on the left almost always beat ciphers on the right. But yeah, I think tonight is about Super Bowl IX. I don't know if they're going to do the same score. Super Bowl IX, the score was 16-6, 22 points. Be funny if they did that. The over-under is at 43.5. There is a chance it's 43. 43 is the 14th prime, first game of week 14. TNF is 14. I'll make a note about that. OU at 43.5. Week 14, 43, 14th prime. TNF equals 14. Okay. Yeah, here, we'll take some calls in case you guys have some additional observations. Let me open up the phone line. I'll also interact with the chat to see if you guys got anything. The Lions' last win was Week 13 last year against Minnesota. That's funny. So, yeah, a repeat of last season. Hold on. $217.
Hey, Zach, how's it going? I got a quick one for tonight's game. So I was watching another stream tonight where they were talking about putting parlays together, and somebody said something interesting about the Lions and the Vikings. They said the last 8 times that the Lions beat the Vikings lost their next game. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
The Vikings lost their next game. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
And so the last 8 times, so it could become the 9th time on the 9th when this game's a repeat of Super Bowl 9.
That would be pretty interesting. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm very confident in that. And then the other one I had was, just as a player prop, I do like Najee Harris to score a touchdown, just because if you know Franco Harris, he was the MVP.
He was the MVP of that Super Bowl, right? I got that in the notes.
Yeah. So if you're doing a same-game parlay, I'd probably, obviously take the Steelers straight, and then I would do Steelers and then Najee to score a touchdown. Might even take his rushing yard. So that's what I got, though.
All right, good observations. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
See. 215.
Yo.
What's up?
You can hear me?
I hear you.
Oh yeah. I did want to say, what was that? Tyler Lockett, right? It's a TD prop if anybody want to take it or not. But I know just last week he was on 40 touchdowns. 41 was the 13th prime, and he scored a touchdown in the San Francisco game. So he on 41 right now. I say a good bet to do is Tyler Lockett for 2 TDs, and the odds on that probably be insane because he definitely can get 43 in the Texans game. You get the 43 touchdowns. So, I mean, I didn't get to put the bet in there, but if y'all put the bet in, you can take that slight chance. That's something that I had if anybody want to take that or not. 43, the 14th prime.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
All righty.
All right. Thanks. Najee Harris is on 7 career touchdowns right now. 5 rushing, 2 receiving. But yeah, he is right that Franco Harris was the Super Bowl MVP of Super Bowl 9. So same surname. No caller ID.
Hey, what up, Zach? Just a few quick things. For that Vikings-Lions game last week, just so you know, at the end of the game, they threw the Goff threw the winning touchdown to number 14, and they had lost 14 games in a row.
And the streak, yeah. And they were playing the perfect prevent defense with the safeties in the back of the end zone. Like, that's where you got to score the touchdown at. It's like, how can anyone think this is real?
It's every time at the end of the game. Oh, it's a blow in coverage. He's wide.
Isn't it just stupid how they go down the field? It's just stupid, man. What I noticed, here's when I realized, honestly, that I forgot the Minnesota 110 thing. As soon as that drive started, go look at what the starting time was on the clock for the winning drive. It was 1:50, which is 110 seconds, and then they became when I saw that, because it wasn't on my TV, but I had it on my phone. I was like, holy fuck, the drive starting with 110 seconds, and I forgot about Minnesota 110.
So. And on the final play, it was 4th and 2, the whole 42 Michigan shooting thing that's going on.
Yeah.
We did it for Oxford in the shooting hoax,
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm going to bring another thing to your attention. You're always talking about the Warriors and Philly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry, he can break Ray Allen's all-time three-point record. This Saturday is the Warriors' next game in Philly. Steph, he needs 10 three-pointers to do it. He's done it 22 times in his career, so it's not unheard of. But, I just want to get your thoughts on that because it's like last I saw was like plus 475 for him to hit 10 threes in Philly, against his brother, break the record. I think his dad, Dell, might be in there as like a prop, and it's got some pretty good value. I just wanted to throw that by you and get your thoughts on that.
They don't play the Bucks anytime soon, do they? No, it
the
doesn't
Bucks?
look like
no,
it.
No. It's this Saturday is their next game against Philly. He needs 10. And after that, I think they're playing either the Pacers or the Knicks.
Yeah, it's Pacers, the Knicks, then Celtics.
I was thinking of taking a shot at that because how they love doing stuff with the Warriors and the Golden State Warriors in Philly all the time. How do you talk about that?
Here, let's see. So the game's December 14th. His birthday is March 14th. Let's see.
Yeah. And again, he's done it 22 times. Hit 10 plus threes in a game. So he's done it a number of times.
He needs 10?
Yeah, he needs 10. He hit 6 last game.
It's possible because it's exactly 39 weeks from his age. If you write out 10 as a word, it equals 39, like the 10 commandments in the 39 books of the Old Testament. It's possible. Yeah, it's exactly his 39th week of his age.
Maybe take a little shot at that with some good games on Sunday,
Yeah. Yeah, well, you said it plays, what, $4.75, so you wouldn't have to bet very much and put it with the games you like. I mean, $5 could easily become $100 if that hit.
Exactly. All right, and then just 2 more sports things. Not sports things, news things I want to bring to you. Did you see, for the Astroworld thing, did you see the Kylie Jenner, she, had that picture of herself, covered in blood, and then she deleted it? It was, it was a little before that. I think it was around Halloween.
No, like a DMX type thing?
I don't know. It was creepy, man. She's naked and covered in blood, and she deleted it after the Astroworld thing. Just wanted to let you know that. And you may have already covered this. You already covered the quarantine camps in Australia.
Well, I know about it. I haven't really covered it, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I just want to bring attention. But that's it for now, Zach. Thanks.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, bye.
It is interesting that, it's in the biblical town Philly. A lot of riddles with the Warriors in Philly, and it is interesting that he needs 10, and it is 39 weeks in his birthday. So that could be a small parlay type of idea with the games that look good on Sunday. Najee Harris, I suppose if he ended up with 2 touchdowns tonight, he would have 9, like Super Bowl 9 again on the 9th. I got to look up this stat, though, that the one guy said about Vikings have lost 8 straight times after losing to Lions. Sometimes you can't pull this stuff up, but they say it on TV. I mean, if that is true, that's another reason to think that they'll pick up the 9th straight on the 9th. No caller ID?
Yo, it's the 585.
All right, what's up?
Lane with a Y, Generation Y. All right, so we called in last week talking about the 13th, and it looks like in that 1 o'clock slot, there wasn't too many guys, but it was great because on Monday, Gabriel Davis, number 13, was the only one to score in the Buffalo Bills game. So we are seeing these jersey numbers correlate with the week. But I would advise you guys to pick your prime time slots, your late games, highlight moments to pick those numbers out.
It is true that it hits more in the prime time. It's just like the only touchdown for Buffalo in Week 13 was number 13. So
Ain't that some shit? And mind you, guys, that shit was plus 550 for Gabriel Davis, anytime touchdown. And by the way, that plus 550 has cash with a few other guys. Just adding that information for our bettors who's looking at those lines. Today, number 14, we're going to take Ray McLeod for the Steelers. Okay, Ray McLeod has 0 touchdowns. This is a guy who's number 14. He was on special teams doing punt returns, kick returns, but he's actually been getting some receptions over these last few weeks. So we're going to take number 14, Ray McLeod, at plus 380 for anytime touchdown. Ray McLeod, number 14 for the Steelers. And just to add to the conversation, Zach, I'm on Stat News right now. I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers record on Thursday. Do you guys have? I'm pretty sure you have that, right?
What?
Pittsburgh Steelers can get their 14th all-time win on Thursday, according to Stat News. They're 13-17 on Thursdays right now.
Okay, I don't have that stat, but I have it that they can get their 35th all-time win in this week, though.
Nice. Yeah, I'm leaning a little bit towards the Steelers, but I will let you guys know as far as the betting standpoint, the coach, Mike Zimmer, for the Vikings, after he loses 2 games, he's 16-5 against the spread. So I would advise you guys to be wise bettors. Maybe you should lean on that money line.
Oh, so he can become 16-6. That was the score of Super Bowl. So he can become 16-6. That's the score of Super Bowl 9 between the Vikings and Steelers. That actually makes sense if he loses
against the spread.
Yeah, so he'd fall to 16-6 against the spread if he doesn't cover. And again, the score of Vikings Steelers Super Bowl 9 was 16-6.
And one wise thing that I like to do is just take my time and go through each roster, look for those special key numbers. Like today is the 9th. Well, it looks like a kicker on the Steelers is number 9. So this game could end with number 9 on the field, the kicker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The spread is 3, Zach. It did start off at 3.5. So, the line has moved. You know how Vegas works. The line has moved. But just so you guys know, the kicker for the Steelers is number 9, okay? Yo, man, it's the Tall Black Games. I love adding to the conversation. Thanks again, Zach, for having me, man. Let's keep it going.
All right. Appreciate it, Lane. Thanks. I'm looking at this, actually. If Ben wins this week and next week they're at the Titans. What's funny about that is he'd get his 177th win in his 266th game. And remember, the Jesuit order is 177. Isu Samaram Salvatore, their motto is 266. And then for the season, they would be 8-5 in the win and loss column. And Isu Samaram Salvatore is also 85. So, of course, he has to win tonight. But if he does win tonight, keep that in mind for next week versus the Titans, because that game will probably be close to even as well. So yeah, but that is another reason to think that Ben could win this week and next week. And then what he just said about Zimmer with the spread, that is impressive, but if he doesn't cover, he's 16-6. That was the exact score of Super Bowl 9 between these teams. Here, let me look up this Thursday record for teams real quick. All right, 602.
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hey.
I had something for the Bills game coming up against Tampa.
Okay.
Can we talk about that right now?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the reason it came up to me is because I saw the Bills could possibly get their 446th win all time. And the reason that matters is because the Suns and the Montreal Canadiens were the 1993 teams to go to their relative championship games. And then it's only the Cowboys and the Bills, right, that we have left in the 93.
Okay.
Right. So this is the reason why is the Montreal Canadiens, they came in all-time playoff records, 446 wins, and they ended on 447. And the reason that's relative is because I looked up Tampa Bay, Florida, with just the F and the L, and the satanic gematria is 447. So you got the 93 Montreal Canadiens playing against Tampa Bay Lightning in the Stanley Cup, and then you have the Bills going to Tampa, who are the 93 Super Bowl, not winners, but they were in it, and they could possibly get their 446th win. Now, if you don't believe me, that's fine. But if you want to believe NFL.com, their preview video for that game coming up is 4 minutes and 46 seconds. So tell me how that isn't plausible. So,
Well, it is. Yeah, good observation.
and the Bucks come in with a 9-3 record.
Okay.
So, and their preview game video is 4 minutes and 46 seconds. So, yeah. So, and Montreal Canadiens only got one win, and they came back to Tampa to get the 447th win. And Tampa Bay, Florida, with just the F and the L equals 447. So that tells you that they're connected somehow. I don't know why the 446 is, because I was trying to relate it because I know the Satanic Gematria for Memphis Grizzlies, or it's just either Memphis or just Grizzlies is 446, and it has something to do with the Warriors too, because I noticed that, and this is a different topic, but you know when they came out with the halftime people that were gonna play in halftime for the Super Bowl this year, it was on the same day that the Thursday game between the two first draft choices were. It was Bengals and Jags with Burrow and Trevor Lawrence. And then they bring up during that game a Freezer Bowl. And the Freezer Bowl was in January 10th, 1982. And if you track that date all the way to the Super Bowl, it's like 14. I'll explain to you why this makes sense, but it's like 14644, which the day is 40. It's the 44th day, so it's 146. And the championship game last year between the Suns and the Bucks all had to do with 1, 4, and 6 because they got that number all time in playoffs. I think it was against each other, and 146 is relative to Wisconsin because if you look up an article on Aaron Rodgers, 146 has to do with that date, May 26th, which I thought it was about a lunar eclipse. But because Aaron Rodgers' satanic number is 555, lunar eclipse is 555, but it has to do with Bart Starr, which is also his last name Starr is 59, like Sophie Stadium. And he died on May 26th, May 26th, which is the 146th day, which is why that's relative, I believe, to the Bucks winning. Because after the Bucks won, there was like a buck moon. You can look that up on July 22nd. But if you look up an article with Aaron Rodgers saying every minute he's on the field, he gets paid $146,000. So 146 is relative to Wisconsin. I don't know why. I think it's because Bart Starr died on the 146th day.
Okay.
So I think what could be plausible is the Bills and the Bucks. The Bills playing against the other number 12, which is Aaron Rodgers. But because Aaron Rodgers, I believe, is kind of like in the same situation as Antetokounmpo, because they hadn't made it to the big game in a while. Well, Antetokounmpo hadn't, but I don't know. And they were talking about the Marriott Bonvoy commercial that Devontae Adams was in, and he related them to he's like, oh, I'm like Kobe Bryant, and so I don't know if they make it to the Super Bowl because of that. But that 59 is really important too, because they said in the Freezer Bowl that it was 9 degrees, and then after wind chill it was like negative 59. It was like 9 and 59. And then Bart Starr's 59, Sophie Stadium's 59. And did you know Alex Trebek's birthday, or when he died, from the date he died up until the Super Bowl, it's like 13 months and 5 days, which is like 135, like Aaron Rodgers, which I thought was pretty important for like a Super Bowl guess.
Okay. All right. Appreciate all the thoughts, man. Thank you.
All right, bye.
All right. Take care. Well, there's another 35 for the Steelers tonight that could go in their favor. The Vikings are 63-34 all time at home versus the AFC, so they can get the 35th loss versus the AFC at home. So you got 335 stats that go in the Steelers' favor. They can get their 35th win in Week 14. The Vikings can stay on 35 wins. And again, we just said about the home stat. 863.
Hey, how you doing? I didn't really catch anything he was saying, but I just wanted to say something quick. I seen in the news a former Bills player named Mark Pike just died at age 57.
Yeah, and he wore 94 right after the Patriots became 9-4 versus the Bills. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. And Bucks and Tampa and Bills are playing on CBS, and CBS has 57 in the reverse.
Okay. Yeah, he was a special teams player. He leads the Bills in tackles for special teams all the time, and special teams equals 75, like how they fell to 7-5. So he died 2 days after the primetime game.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was it. I was just filling that in.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and the reason he didn't follow the last caller is because the last caller was pretty abstract with his thoughts. And again, I mean, if you want to make your Super Bowl pick based on Alex Trebek dying 13 months and 5 days ago, that's up to you. But I'd look for something a little bit more football related. So. $708.
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, what's up?
Keep it real short and quick. Did you see the article in the New York Post with Jalen Rose? So just like how you always talk about, they put the news by the numbers. This is a perfect example. Today they announced that him and Molly Quorum, the lady that does First Take, they're getting a divorce. So, they've been married for like the last 3 years. But what's so funny is divorce is 41, and today has 41-day numerology. Both of them worked at ESPN, and Jalen Rose' full name is 54, ESPN is 54. His first name first and last name is 99, like Jupiter. Today is Thursday. Molly Quorum, her first name, Molly, is 35. I just thought it was just like really ridiculous. I was like, come on.
They've probably been in an arranged marriage the whole time for their jobs on the network. So.
Yeah, you could just tell. It was like everything, all the numbers lined up. Because I thought it, and what made it strange was someone didn't even know what they were doing. They were posting it, like, just, I'm thinking it was a gossip column, but this was like literally in the New York Post. I was like, why is this in the New York Post? And then as I started decoding it, I see why.
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah, good eyes.
Yeah, that was everything, man. I know it's not directly dealing with what you're dealing with now, but I just thought, I always listen to you. You always talk about how things go by the numbers, and I was just like, man, this is ridiculous.
Indeed.
So they wait till Thursday to announce this.
Well, great observation. But, yeah, I mean, just stuff like that all the time. I've seen a lot of celebrity divorces by the numbers, so that's just another one right there. Yeah, indeed.
All right, man.
All right, man. Have a good day.
All right.
See ya. So Ben is 9-5 on Thursday. If he wanted to be 10-5, kind of like 105, the 100, which is the 14th triangular number, 105. Cousins is 2-5 on Thursday Night Football. That'd give him a chance to get to 3-5. But remember, we haven't had much dice with 3-5. It's mostly about the 35s. He could fall to 2-6 on the 26 date numerology as well. So But yeah, the true 35s go in the favor of the Steelers. And Ben's 10-5 on Thursday. That would fit in with the 14 pattern. But yeah, Minnesota Vikings, I had to double check, is 96. So, I mean, you could make an argument, but still, where the 35s have been on Thursday, it's been flawless. So, I got to go that way. Let's see. Here, just since we're here, let's take a peek at the NBA real quick too, and just see if there's anything popping out on the surface. I see if Philadelphia wins, they're 6-5 at home. That Philadelphia number, but they're on 14 wins versus Utah, and Utah's 14 in the most pure, so that's kind of tricky. And I forget, do 76ers have a 93 connection? Yeah, they do. So Jazz get the 9-3 away. That's iffy. 3-1-2.
What's going on, Zach? There was a guy last week. I think his name is Lane. He always calls in and does like some weird like chant or something like that. He was bringing up some guys to score last week, and I wanted to tell you guys to start counting the postseason touchdowns as well, because I found a lot of numbers last week. Now, I was big on the Jags winning as well. I wasn't able to call in time because I saw the 66 thing, but I looked at all of their stats for the Jaguars. Carlos Hyde was on 40 touchdowns, including the postseason, and I knew he was going to be the guy to score because, that would have been his 41st. And if you saw the game, he was the only guy to score for the Jaguars last week. Everybody was weirded out, like, why was he playing over James Robinson after the fumble? So when I saw that, I knew it because I'm like, yeah, this guy's going to score. It just makes sense. Same thing like the week before, or I don't remember exactly what week it was, but the Rams played the Packers. Odell Beckham picked up his 52nd career touchdown against the Packers, but Randall Cobb also scored his 52nd touchdown as well. So I seen that from watching the replay of your live last week. Go through and start looking at the postseason stats as well. It'll give you more insight. And I was calling to see if you had some type of way to figure out like who would score first. Like there was a guy last week. Michael Gallup kicked the week off scoring.
Number 13.
First touchdown of the season in week 13, and he won number 13. So I think the obvious thing is to look at. I think his name is Ray McLeod today. I just noticed he doesn't have a touchdown in his whole career, so he could score his first career touchdown tonight. I thought that was interesting. The other thing that I thought was interesting about tonight was Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger has, I believe, 22 all-time rushing touchdowns. And let me pull back up my notes real quick. I want to be quick. I want to listen to everybody. Ben Roethlisberger. He has 22 all-time rushing touchdowns. And I remember it was something with 83, which is the 23rd prime. He can pick up his 23rd today and his first of the season. I don't remember what it was that I saw. Let me see. Let me check my phone because I can't find my notes. Quick. Let's see. Okay, so his last rushing touchdown against the Vikings was December 18, 2005. And his last rushing touchdown was against the Jaguars November 18th, 2018. And, I just thought it was weird that it's 83 days from his birthday. That's what it is. It's 83 days from Big Ben's birthday, 83 to 23rd prime. We know football equals 83. And like I said, he currently is sitting on 22 rushing touchdowns, including the playoffs. And he hasn't had a rushing touchdown in a long time. So I was looking at that thinking, like, it makes sense for him and potentially Ray McLeod to score tonight if anybody's been looking into that. I thought that was very odd that it's exactly 83 days from his upcoming birthday. He's on 22 rushing touchdowns if you count his postseason. And like I said, I noticed that last week with Carlos Hyde.
Who's the guy? Who's the guy that's 83 days from his birthday?
Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Right, it's 283 days from his birthday. Oh, wait, his upcoming birthday. I see you're saying his upcoming birthday. I see.
Yeah, upcoming birthday. And like I said, if you look at the postseason stats, if you count the rushing touchdowns, playoffs, and regular season, he's on 22. And I looked up the date of his last one, like I said, November 18th. So, yeah, I just wanted to call in because I missed it last week. I think you did it on Sunday morning or something, and I tried to get up in the morning for it. It was just too early for me. And I saw some guys breaking that down, so I wanted to call and let everybody know to also count the postseason ones because I hit on the Carlos Hyde thing last week. And I've been hitting on it for a couple of weeks now, just counting the regular season and postseason playoffs. Like, those numbers definitely matter for whatever current game is going on. I hit it on Randall Cobb when he scored against the Rams, and I hit it on Carlos Hyde last week. So that was all I had.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so if Ben has a rushing touchdown, it'll be the 23rd of his career, which is the 9th prime. The game's on the 9th. And then he's saying it's 83 days from his upcoming birthday, the 23rd prime. So that's his thought on that. And I do like the Najee Harris one because, again, Franco Harris was the MVP of Super Bowl IX between the Vikings and the Steelers. So, let me see. Let me check in with the chat. Well, it's like last week, Lane in the chat saying how we do the spread. Last week I said Patriots, or not Patriots, but Bucks should cover the spread. Tom Brady, week 13, 11-point favorite with all the numbers. So, I mean, you gotta fill out the spreads. Like, if it makes sense. 13's a big NFL number. He's number 12, so a 12-point win, 13-point win, you know. Yeah, that nothing in the NBA looked that great to me on the surface. I'll start thinking more about the NBA once I'm done with the book and football season's winding down. Yeah, Mr. Anderson, those are all the stats we hit. And again, Super Bowl IX was in 1975. Steelers beat the Vikings, and they can get to 7-5 tonight. So I think that's it. $502?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Just doing the stream. What's up?
No, I'm just catching into the stream, so I don't know if anybody's pointed this out or not. Kirk Cousins can become 3-5 with the win on Thursdays.
Yeah, we're not going with that one. 3-5 is not that good on Thursday. 35 is, though, and all the 35s go for the Steelers.
Vikings can become 9-11 versus the AFC North with a win.
They can also pick up their 35th all-time loss versus the AFC at home tonight.
And Mike Tomlin can pick up his 56th road win.
Yeah. All the 35s are with the Steelers.
Just like every other game, man, just both teams got numbers. You just got to figure out which one's got better ones or got more.
Yeah, I'd go with the 35s on Thursday. It's been flawless this year. So, and remember, 3-5 is not like 35. That one has not been hitting on Thursday night. So
the only one I seen fail was Dallas on Thanksgiving. That was it.
A 35 failed in that game?
Yeah.
How?
Dallas could have got their 35th win.
For what? I don't remember there being any 35 in that.
It was either on Thursdays. I think it was on Thursdays. Something like that.
Okay. I know I didn't cover any 35s. I didn't cover any 35s in that game. There wasn't any 35s I identified in that game, but they played the next Thursday. They played back-to-back Thursdays, so might have been part of the problem, but all right, man.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look.
All right.
Yep,
Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up, you guys. So, you guys got here late. You can watch the stream from the beginning. All the information you needed to hear was right at the beginning. Again, looks like it's a repeat of Super Bowl IX, which was Vikings and Steelers. That's why the game's on the 9th. And again, that game was in 1975. Steelers win tonight like they won Super Bowl IX. They will be 7-5. And Air, just a question about the 76ers, in case there's a cross-sport thing going. Yeah, I'd like it more if like the 76ers could pick up their 14th win, but here, let's see. 76ers versus Jazz all time. It's going to be the 105th meeting, which is the 14th triangular number. And again, Utah's 14 in the most pure, and Philly's on 14 wins, so I don't know about that. If Utah wins, they'll get their 58th win. Pittsburgh's 58, and so is Utah. We'll take one more call. 863?
Hey, I'm sorry, I just had one more. I don't know if you've seen, but home teams are 6-7 on TNF. And it's kind of similar to SNF. I think they're 6-7 as well. I was wondering though if they were similar.
They do have the same record. Yeah, I got it all up here written. Home teams are 6-7 on TNF and SNF right now. The reason we like it getting to 7-7 on SNF is because it's in Green Bay, 77 land. So.
Right. I just didn't know if it would be both teams to win. Being that, because I know the Packers were a lock for sure. I just didn't know if it had anything to do with tonight's game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there is a connection. I mean, there has been a lot of parallels between the primetime games, so maybe. But yeah, I don't really know where 77 fits in with tonight's game necessarily. So.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. That was it.
All right. Thanks, man. See you. Here, next week, Thursday Night Football is Chargers and Chiefs. Oh, I think I did make a note about this, actually. I did. So here's what I wrote. I wrote, Thursday Night Football game is on 60-night date numerology next week. Home teams could fall to 6-9, so they would have to lose this week to get to 6-8, which would be the Vikings losing, and then lose again next week to get to 6-9. Hold on. We'll take one more call. 860?
Hey, Zach.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, man. I hope I'm not digging too deep here, but if you look at the Jazz record on Thursdays, this kind of plays more than, at home on Thursday. But, yeah, just Jazz record on Thursday. It's interesting how they can get that 191, and they become 18-7 on the season, like 191, 187, Society of Jesus, and they could stay on 152 losses in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I believe Pennsylvania's 152.
It is.
Yeah, with Joe Biden. Yeah. So I like the Jazz along with that 14 riddle, NBA TV, Utah equals 14.
Oh, was that game on NBA TV? That game was on NBA TV?
I heard that from someone in the chat. Might need to
It is on NBA TV. Yeah, it's on the 14 network. And again, 191 connects with 14 because 191 is the 43rd prime and 43 is the 14th prime. So. And if the Jazz win, they'd be 18-7 for the season too, and get that 191st win. Society of Jesus 187, 191. Yeah. So
that looks good. But also, you heard about the Doc Rivers, the 35 going both ways.
The what?
The 35. Check out Doc Rivers' record with the 76ers. He has 34 losses.
But you said it goes
But if
both
you look
ways?
at his home record, Doc Rivers' record as the 76ers coach.
Okay, but you just go ahead. What's the point?
Oh, sorry. My bad. Okay, I thought you were looking up. He has 34 losses with the 76ers as a coach. So he could get that 35 on Thursday. But if you look at his home record with the 76ers, he has 34 wins. So it's like he could get that 35th home win. But I like the overall record more than the at home. So, yeah, I like the Jazz in this one.
Okay.
That's all I got, man.
All right. Appreciate it, Tachi.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right. See you, man. I hate trying to look up stuff while I'm on the phone with one hand. Because, yeah, it's just annoying typing with one hand. Okay, 63. So he's on 63 wins, too, and Jazz is 63. So he could stay on 63 versus the Jazz and then pick up the 35th loss on Thursday. 618?
Yo.
Yeah?
Big Ben, he can get his 163rd win against Minnesota 38.
Yeah, got that in the notes. 38th prime. Minnesota 38, indeed.
Yep. Tomlin's on 83 losses, and today is 83 days till Big Ben's birthday. If they win, they become 7-5-1, like 133. Minnesota 38, 133. Football 83, 133.
What is 751 the 133rd prime?
It is.
Okay, yeah, that would be interesting because yeah, you're right. Minnesota's 133 like football. Okay, that's a good catch.
Today leaves 22 days, and Ben's on 79 losses. 282 days after his birthday, and I think he can pick up the 282nd away win for the Steelers all time. It's just a couple things. I've seen a lot of stuff for them. So I think they look good, and then I like the Jazz to win, go 18-7, walking into Washington D.C. 187.
Yeah, that would make
game
sense
is the
too.
Wizards.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my two leans for today. And then it's funny because they were talking about 146. Jesus Christ equal 146 and 151. DeJounte Murray's next win is his 146th all time and his 151st including playoffs. So his next win gonna be like a Jesus ritual. I just can't pinpoint it. It might be today, but there's some things going back and forth. The Spurs just lost the other night and became 8-14. Pop's wife died on 4/18. The reflection. It was all synced up with her. It's pretty sick. Monty Williams' wife died too. They lost to the Suns. That was the night they lost to the Suns. But yeah, that's all I had.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so if the 35 plays against Doc Rivers, I mean, that could be another thought tonight. And again, he would stay on 63 wins versus the Jazz. Jazz is 63 in the most simple. But yeah, I mean, the 35s are with the Steelers and keep saying I'm not going to take any more calls and people keep calling. All right, call better be good. I hope it's something we need to hear. What's up, 785?
Hey, I just wanted to point out something interesting that happened with the Bills game, and it could lead to Alabama. About 30 minutes before the Bills and the Patriots game, some artist did a cover of a Lionel Richie's All Night Long, and Lionel Richie is from Alabama. The interesting thing about last week is that all the Alabama quarterbacks won: Mac Jones, Tua, and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what that means, but they're doing something with
Remember,
that.
Alabama Crimson Tide equals 70. We get the Patriots are winning the rest of their games this year. They'll become 7-0 in Indianapolis, where the championship game is for college football. Alabama Crimson Tide 70, and then they'll go into the Miami game on the road 7-0 away, and Miami Dolphins is 70, and they're the last team to have a perfect season, so they'll probably be perfect on the road this year. But they're going to beat the Colts and get to 7-0. It's all about Mac Jones, Alabama, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick. So, yeah, that's that cross-college NFL riddle. Yeah, you're right. All the Alabama QBs won.
Yep, just want to point that out. Thanks, Zach.
All right, see you. 717.
Hey, Zach, just a quick question before you get off the live stream. Have you seen anything that leads you to think the Steelers could go to the Super Bowl? I'm just wondering.
Nope.
Oh, you haven't?
Mm-mm. All right.
Do you think they have a chance at all, or?
No, I don't think they're the team.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, man. 301.
Hey, Zach, how you doing? I have a couple things that I can add, especially to tonight's game. If you look at the Steelers' away record all time, the 618th game, and it's 269 to 336. Mike Tomlin comes into the game on the 269th day of his age, span of 270. And also, if you do his birthday to the Super Bowl, it's 335, span of 336. So tomorrow when he wakes up and they win, it would be exactly the away record. And then the Atlanta game with the Panthers, if you look up Cam Newton, his career quarterback record in the regular season with the Panthers, he can win his 69th win, which Atlanta equals 69, which also brings it back to Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan's coming up on 101 losses, and 101 is the 26th prime. And so he can either get his 101, he'll probably lose to the 49ers, and then he can either stay on 101 on the 26th or get his 101 on December 26th, because they do play on the 26th of December this year. That's all I got to add.
Hey, if Ryan loses this week, he'll get his 106th loss. Charlotte, North Carolina, 106. Yeah, just on the surface, it looks pretty good for the Panthers. So.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for the Panthers. Matt Ryan will get his 100th loss in the regular season. Then he'll play the 49ers. Obviously, he's going to lose to them. I think that's who he plays in Week 15. And then Week 16 is on the 26th. So he'll probably stay on 101 losses on the 26th because it's being the 26th prime. That's something else to look at for Matt Ryan.
Okay. Yeah. Appreciate it.
I mean, thank you.
All right. Thanks, man. Okay. All right. I turn off the phone. So we're really not taking any more calls, but yeah, we'll do the rest of the NFL games and see if the Steelers can keep the 35 thing perfect on Thursdays. So let me see if there's any final comments in the chat. Brandon Vaughn seeing the guy in the Steelers jersey. Okay. Kurt Warner special on Christmas. Okay. The Jazz can get their 9th win on the 9th. Jazz equals 45 as well, the 9th triangular number. Okay. There was one call on Thursday about a hockey game with a 35 that came through this season, so I'm not seeing where Cam Newton can get his 69th win. I don't see that stat. But I do see that he can get his 48th home win and stay on 69 losses. So I'm not sure where the 69th win is at. Oh, with Carolina is what you're saying. I see, with Carolina. Okay. Here, let's see. Okay, yeah. Could get the 69th win with Carolina. That's a good one. Newton can pick up 69th win with Carolina. And we know that's a big number with Atlanta. You know, that's pretty much how we called Atlanta to win the World Series. The 69-15 thing. But yeah, if you want to do a bet and parlay a few games in it, there's some games that look pretty good already this weekend. So, Steelers got value tonight alone. And again, you should play smart. Like Bo Jackson said, he got killed this weekend because of the Lions. I mean, there's no reason to get killed over one game. We had the right lean on every game except for the Lions. So, I mean, you shouldn't have got killed this weekend. You should have killed the bookie this weekend. And or this past weekend. But yeah. And you guys got to use your own eyes too. I mean, I don't know why nobody saw Minnesota equals 110. I should have saw it. How many times did I write about Minnesota and 110 in my last book with the George Floyd thing? But again, other people should have seen that too. Minnesota 110, most simple cipher. So anyway, we'll leave it there for now, and we'll be back. We'll stream again Saturday for the Sunday games.